it's a tough profession when you get into it right off the bat. You're exposed to a lot. You're asked to do a lot, and some of it might be a little bit out of your comfort zone. But sticking with it, asking questions, and doing your best to kind of just work your way through those situations is what's going to help you kind of in the future in terms of just figuring out, okay, I've been through this before, this is what I did, and this is how I can make it through. So it's that perseverance that I think is something that's a big key.
I mean, the 3 lessons that I've learned are one, always be the hardest worker in the room. I grew up under athletic trainers that grinded for 35 plus years, not missing a day at work, not missing a game, and just working hard and being a tireless advocate for our profession. I think the second lesson I've learned, especially this year, is don't sweat the small stuff. You have to be able to differentiate what's important and what's not. Sacrifice a little argument, in the athletic training room for the greater good.
Do a really good job of using your mentors, people that have been around a while. The profession's changing so much right now into what we do, the educational component, like what students are taught. I mean, the information they're coming out with now from when I graduated, 15 years ago, they're coming out with so much more, but I don't know if they have a good grasp into the past of the profession and some of the work that's been done to get where we're at, they need to kind of get that education from their mentors or people that have been in the profession for a while to kind of continue on those traditional components of athletic training that have been there.
Open your ears before you open your mouth. Listen to what people are telling you. Observe, watch, before you act. I think that it goes a long way. I think it's kind of a lost art form these days. People want to talk a lot and they don't want to listen, or they don't want to see what's going on around you. Learn from your mentors.
The biggest things the advice I would give new grads would be to know that your hard work will pay off. I remember telling myself that multiple times when I was younger. All this hard work, all this time, all this effort will pay off, and it did. So I think that's one of the biggest things. The other thing is not to be complacent in what you know. Always want to learn more. Always want to know what's the newest rehab technique, what's the newest treatment, modality that works really well. All this kind of thing. So don't be complacent. Always want to learn more.
First thing, you don't learn everything in your curriculum program. It's just not possible. Your first year out on the job by yourself is going to be a huge, huge learning curve. You are going to get the most experience by hands-on. So biggest thing is communicate. Communication is key, whether it's you have to learn to communicate with your coaches, parents, to the athletes, and you have to do it on their terms, but you also need to be, if you have a position on something, you need to be firm about it. It's okay to agree to disagree and disagree to agree. You'll work it out, but communication is probably by far the biggest thing in our industry.
I'd say, listen. Listen to the people that have been through and walked the path that they're about to start on. Don't think you have all the answers. I think the first thing that the young ATCs need to learn is to be humble and lose the ego, check the ego in at the door. And I think I always tell our kids, if you don't have passion for this profession, you need to get out now and figure out a new major, because the hours that you work and the demands that are put on you and the stress to get an athlete back on the field and dealing with coaches and parents and everything, it's not for everybody. And I think you got to decide that early on that you're going to be passionate about it, you're going to love it.
New athletic trainers, I would probably say, addressing the life balance issue again, that you just need to have good boundaries when you start your position. So making clear expectations with the student athletes about their communication with you. I think younger people these days have different feelings about when it's appropriate to text and communicate with you, contacting you on social media, things like that. So I think if you enter your position with clear expectations for your relationship with your student athletes, you're gonna be a lot better off because you can feel like you have that time away from your student athletes when they know that it's not okay to contact you all hours of the day.